single leg takedown is what we, with the penetration steps that we did with the first warm up, but I'm not really trying to drop down too far. I'm just driving my shoulder into him to force him to move back so he steps and the leg comes available to me. So what I mean by that is pick him up and he's already bouncing. I'm pinching my knees tight. He can't really, so I'll come back. So if he tries to pull his leg out hard, I need to pinch my knees here and I'm going to hug it tight. Whichever leg I'm taking, my ear should be like, so if I have, this is your right leg, so if I have his right leg, my left ear should be on his belly. So it should look like that. So my head is on the inside. The reason why we do head on the inside is if I come out, I'm get myself put into a guillotine from here, and it's a bad spot. Okay? So head should always be on the inside. When I get here, I'm going to turn into this leg. So I'm going to drive him around this way until he starts to turn around. I'm going to bring him down. Okay? And we're just going to stop here. So again, I really want to make sure I'm pushing him back when I do this drive. Okay? I've got to use all my body mass to get this leg forward, right? So if we're kind of square, I'm going to push in, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to hug it tight, and I'm going to turn into him eventually to get him down. And he comes down, and we can stop here. Right? When I get a single leg, I want to try and, you see how my arm's hooked in under the knee? This allows me to get a knee pin. I drive my leg through, that pins this knee, so it's in front of me. And this leg, he can't really turn in. So if he tries to turn into me, he's fighting against my arm. Both legs are pinned this way, or I can put one hand on his thigh, other one on this knee, and sprawl around the back. I want to keep him up on his side for here. This is how I'm going to get my back position. Right? I want to get attacked to the back. So I'm going to get our seatbelt grip, which is this kind of a grip we call a gable grip. So that's one arm over the shoulder and one arm under the armpit, and I hold it right in front. And I'm keeping all my weight on top of them, so I'll turn around so you guys can see how I'm sitting. So the way I'm sitting when I want to take back is my foot or my calf sits right across his back and my knee is up by his head. Right? So I'm sitting like this. This leg is driving into his back. And all I got to do to take his back is I'm going to pull him as I sit back. So I pull and then we fall on the other side. Okay? That's the easiest way to take the back from that position. From there. So boom, we get the single leg, we come in here. If you happen to lose this grip as you come down, it's fine. You can also just swim it in, drive to the mat. I step back, I come around to his back. When I come here, you can even do a figure four grip. So a figure four grip is one arm is straight and you're grabbing onto your wrist. I prefer the figure four grip because that gives me wrist control. So I'm grabbing his wrist and I'm grabbing my wrist. Makes it harder for him to break any grips from here. So my leg goes to his back and I keep tight. I don't separate when I pull him because that allows him to turn in. My back is to his back when I go to pull him in. Yeah, chest to back. So I keep him in tight and I pull him up and then I can slip my hook out, right? So the minute his back comes off the ground, or just enough, even there, I need to slip my leg through immediately, throw that hook in, and then we can fall down and get the other hook in, okay? So if we turn around from that position, all it looks like, so boom, that's my figure four grip. So when we fall over, this hook gets put in place. He's just sitting on this leg. It goes in, and I can hook in there, and now I've got a good back take or good back control from here. My attacking arm is on the top, right? And then I've got good wrist control, so he can't defend from this position too, right? So he's caught here. The only way he can start, if he wants to try and fight this grip off by doing whatever, that's fine. That's just to distract him. Okay. So I'll do this back take backwards. So okay. So I come in. We start here. I get either the seatbelt grip, so that's the gable grip, or the figure four grip. I'm here. My foot turns in to his back. I stay tight, and my foot comes up to help pull him in. He comes back. Keep that foot clear. I get my hooks in, and I've got good back control. Okay. So let's go with that. Pulling them, they're back, or they start to slip out, and they go to turn into us. We can recover this. So going straight from that back take. So we get in here, boom. So when I'm taking somebody's back, I don't want to stay in this kind of a position. He's out of back control. I don't have back. His hips are on the ground. His face is facing up to the sky, right? So as I come in, he starts to fight. So if you're getting into this position, you're going to get yourself caught into something else. Okay? But turn this way. So I'll switch it. My grip's around. Okay. Whatever. I've got double unders. That's fine for now. So if he starts to escape out, so the way you escape, so stop, go flat. So this is where I lose back, is when he gets into this position. Everything, he's flat to the ground. My chest is no longer touching his back. Okay? I can recover, I can get my back control back from here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my foot, I'm going to hook it into his knee, I'm going to pull it up, his hips start to come up. I'm going to pull him as I kick his leg away. I'm going to rotate back over to my other side. So I pick him up, I'm going to start to roll over, and I pick him over, and now I've got back control established again. Okay. So your main goal when somebody's taking your back is get like this. Okay? If I've got you in your back, you want to be facing like this, out of your back off my chest. When you get like this, you're safe. I can't put any chokes on you. You're forcing me to move away from a good position for me, and you're out of a bad position. Okay? So, actually turn around, because then we can fully roll over. Turn over. So, I do my back take. I roll. We go all the way over, but I don't get this hook in time. So he starts to go flat. This foot is going to hook in. I'm going to pick him up. I'm going to push away. I turn over to the other side. Okay? So if you come back, Thomas. So all I'm doing with this, what this is allowing me to do, is to kind of like throw him and drag him. Okay? I want to make sure I'm dragging his leg away from me. See how he goes? I'm not pushing him with my hands. That's all leg strength. Okay? That allows his back. You see how it's kind of facing out towards me? That's what I want. That's what's going to allow me to get to here. I've got my chest to back connection again, and then I can throw my hooks in. Right? And now I've got the position I wanted back. And now we just got to fight to get it to back control again. Right? So, and one more time, we get here. You don't get the hook in. So the first person taking back, don't get this hook in. Okay? Just to practice this. You don't get that hook in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hook my foot into his knee, pick him up, and bring it up high. Okay? His hips start to come off the ground. I'm then going to push and turn him over. Right? So I push, turn over, and I get my hooks in again. And then I've got back control established. Okay? There's a littler guy. So we get in here. So our body lock is this position. Right? It's a triangle, or this is called body triangle. I call them body locks. From here, you can submit somebody by just really squeezing. Or so one thing to keep in mind: if you do a body triangle, do not push their torso forward. You can hurt somebody's spine by doing this, because I have everything locked up here. Right? If I were to push forward, it would ruin everything. I forget what it does to the spine, but it's a spine manipulation. If you do it in a tournament, you'll be disqualified right then and there. No ifs and buts, right? It's not allowed on any level. If you push forward, it's like a can opener. From guard, you're pulling really hard down on the head. I mean, it's a little different when you get into higher belt levels, right? So, that out of the way. So I get into this position. Remember our body lock. So from just hooks, body lock is one leg across the stomach and the other one crosses over the foot. What I like to do that's a little bit different is I take the leg that's over the foot, I hook it in by the knee, and I pick his leg up. He tries to turn into me. Even if I let go, he's stuck. Versus, if I were to let it go, he tries to turn into me. He's got a little more freedom to do so. Okay? I can even do this if we're sitting up. So we sit up, and I get my body triangle. Boom, boom. Lock it up. I can do it here, too. This just gives me extra control. So if he brings his leg up and he tries to start fighting or whatnot, I can force him to stay where I want. So I've kept control of his leg. If he tries to turn into me, he starts to try and bridge, I can turn him away with this leg. I am controlling his whole body by just hooking into his foot and pushing him away. It's the same idea with the last one we just did. I'm hooking in by the knee, and I'm pushing away when I want him to move, whichever way. I want to go this way for whatever reason. Really, if I had to switch my grips, I just bring him over, and I can safely change my body lock, and I switch legs. Okay? So let's do the back take again. So he goes down. So I want to work on this back take. So we get in here, we come up, I push him over, we come in. If you can get your hooks in here, that's fine, right? This is a good way of starting it. And then if you fall over, fall back over to the side. Your arm is over. Okay, from here, I'm going to get my body lock in, even if it's not that tight, right? So if it's not that tight, it means I've got my foot or my shin on the top of my foot. As long as I can get my foot hooked in by the knee, it's fine, right? And all we're going to do, so the person that's in the body lock hold, I want you to try and turn away, whichever way you can get out. The person with the body lock is just going to control them. They try and turn in, push their leg the opposite way. He tries, we move over. You can practice switching. So to switch, if we turn around, right? So to switch, I plant my foot on the ground, I bring one up, and I glide my foot across, okay? So I go from here. This leg comes up by the hip, this one slides up. If he starts to feel this and he wants to try and get out, the reason why I do this, so if he tries to get out from here and my feet are crossed like this, I still have back control. I'm not really in much danger of him trying to submit me. So one thing for you, never cross your feet, okay? He can break my feet by me doing this, right? So the only time it's safe to cross is that foot on top of foot. This happens from time to time. I do it every now and then just because it feels right. It's wrong. So as you start doing this more, break the habit of wanting to cross your feet, either inside of the feet, one foot across the hip, and on top like this. So I've got foot on top of foot, right? This is still strong, or body lock and squeeze tight. Okay. So that was just a little forewarning. So from here, if I want to transition, I'll do this very quickly. Foot comes up by the hip, I slide, and I make sure I'm squeezing my knees this whole time. From here, if he tries to get out, it's a little bit harder because I'm pinching my knees. If I'm loose with my knees, he's got a little bit of an easier time. So pinch the knees together as you're transitioning your leg up from here. So I'm pinching, everything slides up so I can get the body lock. If I've got to rotate them a little bit more so I can get the body lock on proper, I do what I need to do.